Welcome to my channel Living Librarian. I'm your host Dave. I'll be sharing knowledge about consciousness, spirituality, and life. Stay tuned.
Right.
Okay.
So this one, I think now we are still in the inquiry mode, right? Inquiry
Hmm.
stage. So this is one of the things that you need to understand what is enlightenment, right?
Hmm.
Uh, it's a self-realization which you understand that in higher state of spiritual attainment, you are very clear on that.
Hmm.
So you reach
Yes.
that spiritual attainment, the highest state, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that within that highest state, you come to know that who you really are. That's the end goal.
Hmm.
So ultimately, the main objective of all this is you need to understand who you really are.
Hmm.
That's the main objective. That is enlightenment.
Hmm.
So what does that mean? That who you are? That nothing but that you are part of that source, the God,
Hmm. Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
So you know that you are part of that God.
Hmm.
So how does the God within you react? Let's say
Hmm.
I'm just even you are God, but you're still not realizing that part. You still feel there's something that there's a difference. So when
Yes.
there's no difference, when it becomes God,
Hmm.
how does he reacts, or
Hmm.
he or she or this whatever, right?
Hmm.
How does it react
Hmm.
to everything?
Hmm.
Does it give you like some sort of let's say there's some argument going on? How
Hmm.
does God see this? Is he going to take a side
Hmm.
between those two?
Hmm.
He doesn't going. He's not going to take a side, right? He's just neutral.
Hmm.
Even that is an experience. Even this is an experience. He takes both.
Hmm.
So that's what you're going to. Once you become that enlightened state, that's where you're going to understand what exactly who you are.
Hmm.
So whatever is happening, just now you said, right? Whatever is happening within your life that this week, right?
Hmm.
So you became so calm.
Hmm.
So that state, that because you had certain knowledge that was there within you,
Yeah.
which showed you that exactly what's going on.
Right.
Right now, you have been in a neutral state rather than reacting to the actions.
Right. Right.
Right. So that how do you achieve this calmness for your entire being?
Right.
Only
Right.
when you understand that, okay, you are part of the source, that self
Hmm.
realization, that's what it is
Hmm.
we are talking about, the enlightenment. So that's the
Right.
ultimate goal, what we are going to do
Hmm.
with all these things in our life is nothing but to reach that enlightenment stage,
Hmm.
right? So it
Hmm.
can happen this life or it can happen millions of life after this,
Right. True.
right? So that's what, so the goal start from nothingness to everythingness.
Right.
So you're in between. So some people can take enlightenment in 3 lives, 10 lives. Some people can take in 10 million lives. Others can take 1 billion lives. It all depends upon what they want to experience,
Hmm.
right?
Right.
So ultimately, as a source, we are all here.
Hmm.
We came all the way down to get an experience,
Hmm.
right? So
Hmm.
when we came all the way down to get an experience, ultimately we are going back.
Hmm.
So we got the experience. We are slowly rotating and we are going back.
Right. Right.
Ultimately, again, we become enlightened,
Right.
right? So after getting enlightened, what is the next step, right? Again, you'll be thinking,
Moksha, right?
after moksha, what is next, right?
Hmm.
So what will happen? It's a cycle. It's up to you. From here, again, you decide. Okay, again, I'll come
Oh.
back down.
Hmm.
So again, you are going to take out all your enlightenment. Again, you'll become like whatever you are right now. You want
Hmm.
to book again, you'll come back down. You'll experience, or you can
Hmm.
experience wherever you want to, different.
Hmm.
So it's a cycle, keeps going. So
Right.
you might get enlightenment 100 million times. It's not one time you
Right.
get enlightened. So 100
Right.
million times you'll be getting enlightened, right?
Hmm.
So it's
Mm.
all experience. So ultimately, what is all this? So what is the main achievement of getting enlightenment? If ultimately we are going to be there, we get enlightened. So what's next? We get bored.
Mm.
So ultimately, again, we'll think, okay, I need to have a different experience now. Okay, let's do it. So I'll take at least 10 billion lives, and
Mm.
each life I'll do small, small things. I'll get more experience. So that
Mm.
ultimately it's the expansion of the source.
Oh.
So that's what you're doing here as an experience. Ultimately, you're part of that, which you want to expand.
Mm.
Okay? So in this life, in this particular billions of life that you have taken right now, so ultimately your goal is to get enlightened,
Mm.
right? So that's what. So in order to do that, you need to understand who you are.
Right.
The main goal.
Right.
So that's the awakening or moksha or nirvana, whatever we call it. We have different
Right.
terms, right?
Right.
That's the thing.
Right.
So what's the difference between the enlightened person and the before enlightenment? So these are some of the uh, you can say some of the emotions that we have, some of the characteristics that we have, right?
Oh.
So before enlightenment, you have certain love, you have conditional loves, like
Mm.
only I love only if you behave in certain way that what what I require, then
Mm.
only I love you. So that is a condition you're putting.
Conditional. Right.
So when you're enlightened, it doesn't matter. You're
Yeah.
unconditional love you are. That's the
Mm.
difference, right? So everything,
Mm.
worriness, you'll have a lot of worry during this time. Now it's no worry. It doesn't matter
Right.
because
Right.
truly you know who you are.
Yeah.
You are source.
Mm.
So behave like a god. That's it.
Right. Right.
So you have to think whenever there's a situation, think like a god and see what does God does. Do the same
Mm.
decision. So you can use that as a tool
Mm.
to react to any situations,
Right.
right? Then
Right.
that's what I think the difference between before and after. You'll see all those jealousy, worriness cease to exist,
Right.
and you become more enlightened. And the thing
Right.
is, your body, mind, and soul will be all aligned according to
Mm.
the source, who you truly
Mm.
are as a soul,
Right.
right? So
Mm-hmm.
that's the thing. So, so the main thing is the love, compassion
Mm.
for everything and everything. It doesn't matter what event is going on in front of you.
Mm.
So try to have love and compassion. For example,
Mm.
the war that is going on right now, right?
Yes.
So everybody will take different sides, either this side or
Mm.
this side, right?
Mm.
Now, just come out of it, see from a different perspective,
Right.
and send love and compassion to both of them.
Both of them.
It doesn't
Yes.
matter who is right or who is wrong,
Right.
right?
Right.
So that's what we have to take. But the thing is, we don't experience the, we have not experienced, so it's hard to. It's easy to do it, but when we are experiencing, we are in that war. When we are experiencing that, the truly, at that time, if you are in one of the group
Mm.
and you're fighting against other group,
Mm.
at that time, if you show this, doesn't matter who you are, then you will really enlightened.
Mm.
Right now, it's not happening to us, so we are seeing from a different angle. From far, two people are
Mm.
fighting,
Mm.
so now we give love to each and everyone. Right now, that's
Mm.
easy. But
Mm.
when you're part of this and you belong to
Mm.
one of this group and you're fighting
Mm.
against the other group, at that time you have to show the same thoughts, same view
Mm.
about love and compassion.
Mm.
So there you'll really come to know that okay, you have really become enlightened.
Mm.
So that's the key.
Mm.
So these are things. Yeah.
Mm.
Uh, okay. So that's the difference between this and this. So ultimately, this is what you're going to make some progress for each of this. How do you, so jealousy, we have 80% jealousy. So that means
Mm.
ultimately we have to become 0% jealousy.
Right.
So you're go slowly, you're going to progress on all of this. And ultimately, everything, all this doubt, jealousy will cease to exist. And you'll have
Mm.
more compassion, love, and oneness, that 100%,
Mm.
whatever it's showing. right?
Mm.
So the 0% is nothing but you are going to cease to exist, that part.
Mm.
So that's the difference. So I guess this is where you are going to track all those emotions in your graphs, right?
Mm.
So everywhere you can track all this stuff.
Mm.
Oh. So where is the current state of humanity, right? Uh,
Mm.
so wait a minute.
Mm.
So where is the current state? So right now we are in three stages, right? The entire humanity. Either people are in sleep state or awake state or enlightened state, right? So if you
Mm.
see on the left hand side, it's a source, what we have here, right?
Mm.
Source, complete 100% understanding of source, that is God within us, right?
Mm. Mm.
So when you're in sleep state, right now, you don't have that knowledge of understanding who you are, and you react everything according to that, whatever you know.
Mm.
So that's why I think most of us right now in the sleep stage,
Mm.
right? So
Mm.
once you some trauma happens, that's where you react. That's where you come to that
Mm.
clear. You come to that meltdown in your life that you feel that okay, now I have to do something.
Mm.
It's not going to work anymore, right?
Mm.
So you become aware of something that I need to change in my life,
Mm.
right? So that's where the graph will start going up because
Mm.
you start getting awake
Mm.
and you try to gain knowledge. So that's where your graph is right now. You're in that after that sleep state, you're starting to awake.
Mm.
So when you start awaking, then that's what you'll see that you'll get more knowledge of who you are. Start slowly starting. Ultimately, you
Mm.
can see the graph that it's going according to the source. You're getting more connection to the source. So your
Mm.
source is trying to get increased. That means you're trying to understand who you are slowly, slowly.
Mm.
So that's where you try to awake. That's a graph, right?
Mm.
So once you get awake, then ultimately you become enlightened. So that means you 100% you became to know who you are,
Mm.
right?
Right.
So that's the state right now we are as a human being, right?
Mm.
So
Mm.
in order to give a better understanding, let's on the right hand side you see this chart, right?
Mm.
The image.
Mm.
So imagine this lake.
Mm.
Lake is nothing but people who are in sleep state right now,
Mm.
right? So
Mm.
that lake, small pond, in fact.
Mm.
That small pond doesn't have any connection to the outside water right now.
Mm.
It's it's independent. It's in within it, right?
Mm.
It's not connected to anything. So
Mm.
similarly, right now we are not connected to the source and understand who we are. That's what the representation of that small lake, right?
Mm. Mm.
So once you are in that sleep state, so you don't have that connection, right?
Mm.
The ultimate goal is to reach the ocean.
Mm.
So it cannot reach the ocean because it doesn't have any connection
Mm.
and it doesn't know that what actually it is, the water. Because the
Mm.
water, the same water exists in ocean and the same water exists here, but there's no connection between the ocean and the small lake,
Mm.
right? So it has to get the realization that there's, okay, I'm a bigger, I'm not just the small pond, that is me, right?
Mm.
So once that awareness comes in, what will happen? Let's say to represent this,
Mm.
it'll start, you have hot sun and it'll start, you'll have evaporation and you have clouds coming in and it will
Mm.
start raining. So when the same water which get evaporated
Mm.
and transfer through the winds and clouds and start raining and falls
Right.
under river, the
Right.
same water. Now it came to an understanding, okay, oh, there's something that I need to, there's bigger water here. I'm part of
Mm.
that.
Mm.
Then that's where it get that understanding. It's awake.
Right.
That's a representation of this river. So
Mm.
ultimately, what will happen? It will get more water. It will flow wherever it has to flow.
Mm.
Ultimately, it will reach the ocean.
Mm.
So once you are awake, ultimately you reach the ocean. Ocean is nothing but the enlightened state or the source.
Mm.
So just to give a representation of what is from lake to river, river to ocean.
Right.
So that's what we are. When we are in lake state, we are in sleep state. So once we become awake, we become a river.
Mm.
Once we reach that river, ultimately we reach that ocean. So ultimately we come to know that who we are. and then we
Mm.
get connected 100% with source, and we know that we
Mm.
are just a small piece of that source,
Mm.
right? So that's
Mm.
the understanding where we are.
Right.
So mostly I think people are getting awake a lot uh, between the sleep and awake state because of
Mm.
the situation happening right now in this world.
Mm.
So we are at the bridge of between the sleep and awake
Sleep and
state.
awake. Right, right. Makes sense.
Uh, so there's a lot of things going on. So that is there's a thing called ascension. I think I spoke to you about ascension last time,
Think so, yeah.
right? Yeah. So I'll go in details in the knowledge
Mm-hmm.
time.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a stage where we are trying to awake. So people are in that stage right now, and the
Mm.
entire earth is going through an ascension period,
Mm.
and people are becoming more awake right now.
Mm.
And so we are going in upward curve. That's what we are
Mm.
doing right now.
Mm.
So many people are getting awake at this time. So
Right.
for them, that's the thing, right? So once they are awake, they need to know more.
Mm.
So they want to know what's going on in their life, why it is happening, and all this stuff, right? That's what like how we are doing it right now.
Right.
So same thing that okay, there is a thirst for knowledge. That's what we are trying to do to help,
Mm.
right? So something
Right.
like that. So okay, now I'm awake. So how
Mm.
do I reach that enlightenment stage, right?
Mm.
So there are various paths to reach enlightenment. So there are different types of paths you can take. So you can within your religion you can have one set of path you can reach God, or some other religion can have other paths to reach the God, right?
Mm.
Uh, so there are certain enlightenment like Santman, Vedanta, a lot of different paths, Buddha's teachings,
Mm.
right? So there are all various paths. So you
Mm.
want to know which path I should take?
Right.
It's up to you. You decide. It
Mm.
doesn't matter.
Mm.
So there are paths which you can directly go straight to source,
Mm.
right? There are paths
Mm.
which you want to go through all the zigzags and all and reach the source. It's so everybody is in this stage.
Mm.
Ultimately, everybody reaches the source. It doesn't matter
Right.
whether it's a
Right.
very very bad person. It doesn't matter.
Mm.
They are going to reach the source.
Mm.
It's just a matter of time which path they want to take. They want to still enjoy that this whatever the experience that they're taking in this life or in many lifetimes. They want to experience
Mm.
that. That's fine. It's up to each
Mm.
individual person. We have a
Mm.
free will, right?
Mm. Mm.
So that's what it is. That okay, you choose whatever path you want.
Mm-hmm.
Ultimately, you'll be reaching that source.
Yes, that's right. Mm.
So there are so in this graph, I'm just showing you that from New York to San Francisco, there are trains going on, and each
Right.
train is taking different path.
Right. It's
So
so
you choose whatever the
cute.
path you want.
It's such a cute chart. You created this?
Yeah,
S- I mean, I'm
yeah,
looking
for
at
the
the
book.
details. It's so cute.
Yeah, this is a book, right? It's in the book. Everything is in the book. All these are
Oh,
images of the book, right?
oh, acha, acha. Okay, okay. Yeah, I
Yeah.
got it.
Yeah.
All right.
So ultimately you reach the path, the source.
Mm.
It's up to you which train you want to take,
Hmm.
right? So that's
Right,
the same thing for the path. So to reach that source enlightenment stage, what path you want to take, it's up to you,
right.
right? So
Mm-hmm.
somebody wants to go directly to the source. So I'm done with all this life, so I want to know more about God and just become like God. They want to take a
Mm.
fast track.
Mm.
Some say, okay, I got it. Okay. And then they go back to their own
Yes,
whatever world,
exactly.
right? So they are taking slow path. That's fine.
Mm-hmm.
But we know that they are going, everybody is going to reach.
Mm.
That's what it is, right?
Mm.
So now once you realize, okay, there's the enlightenment,